In the 2022 Top 500 Chinese Private Enterprises list, Huawei ranked 5th. Ahead of Huawei is a new company, Amer International Group Limited. Amer Group seems to be a super enterprise that suddenly appeared. Why can it surpass Huawei? Because it claims to have super large copper mines. In 2014, Amer Group announced in the famous Chinese magazine, Global Entrepreneur, it has more than 10 million tons of copper reserves. After 3 to 5 years, it is hoped to increase to 30 million tons. In 2016, the corporate magazine published by Amer Group wrote, Amer already owns a number of mineral resources in more than 20 countries around the world, controlling 4.29% of the world's copper reserves, and the total copper reserves are between 26 million tons and 30 million tons. 30 million tons of copper, equivalent to the copper reserves of the whole of China. The value is more than $1,400 billion, equivalent to 8% of China's annual GDP. This is an abnormal figure. There are 4,400 copper mines worldwide, according to S&P data. By the end of 2017, China had 50 copper mine projects with a total reserve of 44.418 million tons. But Amer Group is not in the statistical list. Obviously, the 30 million tons of copper mines claimed by this company do not exist at all. And such propaganda has deceived the banks and the media. However, Amer Group is a non-listed company, and such behavior is not illegal. How does Amer Group make money? The first is to describe to local government officials a project that can create political achievements. Amer Group claims to build an industrial park that will generate huge output value, and then applied for land from local governments in China. The content of the project is to build a 250,000-ton refined copper rod production line. Relying on the price of copper, the turnover is very high. The current price of electrolytic copper is about $8,500 per ton. Although the processing fee is very meager, the operating income can reach $2 billion. It is enough to allow local officials to have a good political performance in one term, which will benefit the promotion of officials. After obtaining the industrial land provided by the government, Amer Group then pledged the land and project equity to borrow money from the bank. In the end, it will be able to get an explosive growth funds. In 2003, Amer Group prepared a copper processing plant with a production capacity of 250,000 tons in central China. The first phase investment is $200 million. The boss of Amer Group drank desperately with government officials at the wine table. He got 1,000 mu of land, and then borrowed $80 million from Bank of China in Shenzhen, and $100 million from Industrial and Commercial Bank of Anhui. This example is a typical model of Amer's rapid expansion. Seeking the support of the local government first, then using personal connections to convert the government resource to the financial field, borrowing money from the bank. Photos of projects in various parts of China show that the copper rods and wires produced are not transported to special warehouses, but are sparsely placed in factories next to the production line. On the one hand, this conceals the fact that only a small part of the equipment is installed in the factory building. On the other hand, the local government can see the products, so that they will not suspect that Amer Group cheated the subsidy and run away. As for whether the business of copper processing and production is profitable, it is not within the scope of consideration. Amer Group needs more industrial parks, more government subsidies, and more supporting land, which can bring him more cash flow. Judging from news reports from various places, in recent years, the business of Amer Group has gone beyond the copper industry. At least dozens of large-scale industrial parks have been opened in various parts of China, involving a large amount of government funds. Once the operation of Amer Group fluctuates greatly, the entire Chinese government and society must accompany Amer Group in taking risks together. Amer Group has also issued bonds. In 2015, it successfully issued $400 million of private placement bonds. In 2016, it declared a $600 million public placement bond plan, but the issuance was suspended. According to public news, Amer Group invested $700 million in Evergrande in November 2017. Right. You guessed it right. It is Evergrande Real Estate, a large Chinese real estate company that is now facing a huge financial crisis.